Futurama was always one of those shows I just really enjoyed watching. I saw it as a young kid, but I didn't properly watch it until I finished high school. Literally, my plan was back at the end of 2017 that as soon as my exams were over, I will finally binge watch Futurama. And that's what I did, and it was amazing. For me, certain episodes clearly stood out. The late Philip J. Fry from the later seasons, Bender's Big Score, the very enjoyable movie, and also tearjerkers like Jurassic Park and The Luck of the Fryish. For me though, there were certain episodes that were critically acclaimed by people who saw the show, but probably weren't at the very top of everyone's list. The Sting, in my opinion, is probably just about the best episode. It's an absolute masterpiece of animation, as parts of the episode are just beyond belief for me. It's just so well made, and it is pretty much how to make the perfect episode of a TV show 101. Sadly, I'm not here today to talk about any of those I just mentioned. I'm here in a two-part video series to talk about the two episodes I enjoyed watching the most. I know I said The Sting is probably the best episode, but when it comes to Futurama episodes I can't get enough of, these two are at the very top of the list. Achoo! What are they though? Well, I probably spoiled today's topic of the episode in the title or thumbnail, but I'm not going to spoil the actual episode until I start talking about it, which is now. So let's talk about it! Today I'm talking about the why of Fry. This episode begins with Fry feeling as if he has no purpose and that his life is one big never-ending joke.
I'm as worthless as this trash can.
You think I'm as worthless as you? Tried catching garbage in your head and raising 6 kids, you dumb townie!
Things just keep going poorly for him, as he feels as if his existence is pointless. Then Pet Nibbler talks.
At least I'm important to you, even if it's only because I clean up your poop.
The poop eradication is but one aspect of your importance.
Did you just talk?
Indeed.
Again. And he explains to Fry that he is important, and then he knocks Fry out. He then puts him on his spaceship and goes to the Niblonian home planet. Fry then wakes up on the Niblonians' home planet, and they explain to him that he is the most important person in the universe because he lacks the Delta brainwave.
On the contrary, you remember because you were the only one immune to the brain's mental attack.
Because I'm so smart?
Oh my.
And well, he is the only one person to lack it in the entire world or universe.
It's a genetic abnormality which resulted when you went back in time and performed certain actions which made you your own grandfather.
I did do the nasty and the pasty.
Verily. And that past nastification is what shields you from the brains.
Meaning that he is immune to the evil brains. They're basically brains that learn everything there is to know. They are almost at the completion of knowing everything that anything can know in the universe. Why is this a threat? Well, because once they know everything, they'll destroy the universe. Yeah, you get it. At the Niblonians' request, Fry infiltrates their infosphere to plant a bomb. However, because he's, well, Fry, he looks up information he wants to know from the brains instead of destroying the sphere, which he actually has under a minute to do. He finds out that Nibbler pushed him into the cryogenic freezer in the first place, freezing him until he woke up in the year 3000. Shock horror, because Fry stayed there too long, the sphere is destroyed. Well, not exactly. He is actually sent to an alternate universe, never to return to the same universe again. It turns out, of course, Fry isn't actually stuck with the brains in the alternate universe. He is the one and only person who can return to the past to stop Nibbler from pushing him into the freezer. Because apparently there's a nexus point between universes or something. Yeah, he's just somehow transferred by the brains there because he's the only one who can? Okay? I guess because December 31, 1999 was an important time for universes or something? Which is why you can travel there? Yeah?
There is a nexus point between universes at the space-time where you enter the cryogenic tube. You, and only you, can return there.
I hope your calculations are correct.
Our calculations are always correct, for we are gigantic brains.
Initiate space-time transfer!
I just love the meanwhile bit in this episode, as it's going from the fate of the entire universe to Leela on a date with the jerky mayor's aide.
The human will be returned to the past!
Meanwhile,
She thinks the mayor's aide is fantastic and dreamy, until the guy tells a bunch of orphans to get lost from the ice skating rink.
We came here instead of eating today.
This might be their only chance to skate here their whole lives.
Beat it, kids! Come back when you got connections!
Leela, as the former orphan, just loves him doing this, which is why she helps his face a little bit. Long story short, Fry goes back to stop Nibbler, but Nibbler explains why he is pushing Fry in the first place.
Our sages foresee that in 1,000 years, for one moment, the fate of the universe will depend on you. Since you will not live that long, I must freeze you now. But if you return to the future, I will transfer to Earth to give you what help I can.
This sort of explains how Nibbler became Leela's pet. Then again, in the first season, they encountered Nibbler by kind of an accident. So, sort of, unless he knew that they were going to that planet. The interesting part here is that the version of Fry returned to the infosphere, but the alternate result of the same plan to destroy the brains is repaired because Fry told Nibbler to get a better Scooty Puff Jr. So the Scooty Puff is upgraded and Fry doesn't make the same mistake again. Anyway, they send the infosphere to an alternate universe and Fry's memory is blanked by Nibbler.
Man, I can't wait to tell everyone what happened.
Yes, incidentally, I need to remain undercover, so I'm blanking your memory.
Huh. Did everything just taste purple for a second? Oh well, let's go home, you dumb poop machine.
The emotional ending is what is most memorable, however. It's another chapter in the story of Fry and Leela, as Leela realizes how much Fry means to her.
I don't care if you're not the most important person in the universe. It really makes me happy to see you right now.
Then I am the most important person in the universe. Yes!
It's just a fantastic ending for an awesome Futurama episode. This episode just hits all the right notes for me. The doomsday aspect to it is just awesome and makes it feel as if it's almost the most important episode in the show. It's just another one of those episodes that ties the series up together. Without this episode, Futurama is missing an important piece of its brilliant lore and story. I know everyone gets pissed off when people say lore, and guys, the lore of Futurama, it's just fantastic. That's why this episode just never gets old for me. I'm not sure if it is even the most underrated Futurama episode, but I know one thing is for sure, and that's that it is most definitely one of the greatest.
Shame you won't be there to see me shaking hands with Charles de Gaulle. Play cool and saran wrap all you can. Be a 30th century man. You can freeze like a 30th century man. Like a 30th century man.